In this video, I'm going to discuss about how to use Git and Bitbucket to back up your code, submit assignments, and the project work you are working on. So let me bring up my OneNote and see what are the topics I'm going to cover in this discussion today. So if you will see, I'm going to talk about downloading Git and installation of Git. Then I'll talk about how to register to Bitbucket, then creating a project in Bitbucket. After that, we'll clone that project and then we'll copy an existing project on our local machines, that is an Eclipse project, into the clone project, and then we'll use some commands to check in that code and finally giving the permissions to me so that I can review your code and your assignments and project work. So with that, let's get started. So the first and the foremost item is download Git and install it. So let me bring up my Chrome, just 1 minute. So this is my Chrome here. I'll go to Google and I'll search for download Git. Now you can click on the first link here, which is git-downloads. So if you click here, it will bring you to this page as you can see in front of you. Now depending upon the operating system which you are using, you can click on either Mac, Windows or Linux. In my case, I'm making use of Windows, so I'll click on the Windows option here and it will start the download of the Git automatically. So as you will see, there is an exe file, you can save it, and then once the download is done successfully, you can double click on the exe file and install the Git. Now while doing the installation, just click next, next, next. You don't have to change any default options. Let them be as it is. Don't make any changes and successfully complete the installation. I have already done the installation on my machine, so I'll not repeat that step, but I hope that it should not be difficult. You just have to execute the exe file and just say next, 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 and your work will be done. So coming back here on OneNote, so we have done with the download of Git and install. Now the next step to do is to register to Bitbucket. So I will again go to my Chrome here. I'll escape this and I'll open our website, which is bitbucket.org. Now you can open this particular URL and you can register to this website. Once you register to this website, it will send out a mail on your registration mail ID. Now, once you get the mail, you have to verify yourself by following the steps mentioned in the mail. And after the verification, you have to create your user ID. After creating the user ID successfully, you are ready to create your project on the Bitbucket. So again, this step is very simple. You just have to follow the instructions specified. So I'm not going to do that for you. So that will complete our step number 2, which is register to Bitbucket. So that completes our second step as well. Now, once you are done with the successful registration into the Bitbucket, what you have to do is go to the Bitbucket. On the top left here, you will see this bucket icon. I'll click on that. After I click on that, at the bottom there is a plus sign here. I'll click on this plus sign and I will choose repository option. I'll click on the repository. And after clicking the repository, I will type the name of my repository here. So let's say I'll call it core java Naresh Chaurasia. Now why I'm giving here my name is because once you submit your project to me, I would know by your name that who is the person who is submitting the project to me. After that, leave rest of the options as is, like keep the access level as private and version control is Git, and that's all. I mean, don't change anything else here. Just give your repository name. Make sure that you follow your project name with a hyphen, first name, hyphen, last name, and then you say create repository. So this will successfully create a repository for you. So that completes our next step, which is create a project in Bitbucket with the format project name, first name and last name. Now what we have to do is that we are going to clone this particular project on Bitbucket on my local machine. Now in order to do the cloning, what I'll do is I will create a folder on my machine. So I'll go to my D drive. You can choose any drive of your choice. I'll go to Chaurasia and maybe I'll create a folder here and I'll call it Bitbucket code. I'll go inside this. Now once I go inside this, and assuming that you have already successfully installed the Git, you right click here and choose Git bash here. Once you do this, what will happen is it will bring up a Git bash in that directory, which is same as D and Chorussia and Bitbucket code. If you type a command pwd, which is present working directory, it will show that you are in this particular directory, which is D and Chorussia and Bitbucket code. Now having done this, what I want to do is I want to clone the project which I have on Bitbucket. Cloning means creating a copy of the project which is on Bitbucket on your local machine. So in order to do that, I'll go back to my Bitbucket again. So this is the, if you will come here, there is a command here, git clone. I'll copy this and I will put it here on my git bash. I'll paste it here. Now if you can't find this particular command here, what you can do is you can as well click on the project here and you can just choose to copy this much path. You have to leave out that src. So let me copy in notepad so that it is visible to you. So you can as well simply say the whole project name, and then at the home you'll say git clone and name of the project. Okay, so I'm executing this command here, git clone and name of this whole project. This entry I have got from this location, as you can see here. You can copy this either clicking on this icon or just say Ctrl A and Ctrl C. Okay, so now let me execute this command. I'll type this command here on the git bash and I hit enter. So it will start the cloning process. It might take some time depending upon the internet speed you have. So let's wait for this to get completed successfully. So here it says cloning is done successfully, and there is a warning, you appear to have cloned an empty repository. Don't worry about that, that's fine. Now if you will say dir is a command which will show all the directories in this particular location. I'll say dir enter. So you can see that I have this project code java -naresh chorussia which has been cloned. Now I'll cd to code. Now cd means change to that directory or go to that directory, and if I now try to type the command pwd, you will see that the directory now is D and Chorussia, Bitbucket, Co Java -naresh chorussia. Now let me go to this directory through my Windows Explorer. I'll go inside here and you can see there is a folder here .git. For some of you, you will not be able to see this option here. If you don't see it, then what you have to do is you have to go to the view option. You have to go to options here. You have to choose change folder and search options. You have to go to view and make sure that your hidden files and folder, it is enabled, meaning that show hidden files and folder. If you have this selected, then it will not show the hidden file. .git is a hidden folder. So make sure this one is selected and apply and OK. So if that is the case, you will see this particular hidden folder .git. Okay, this contains information regarding the code that is being checked in and other information. We'll go into that details maybe sometime later, but for now make sure that you can see this particular folder git in the directory core java -naresh chorussia. Okay, now so let's see how we can check in existing code into this particular project. So let's say I have my Eclipse. I'll open my Eclipse and I have this project here. And the name of the project is, let me open a project here. So this is the project which I'm going to check in here. So this is the one, core Java. So I'll close other projects for now. So I'll close all other projects. Now I want to check in the code which is available in this particular project for me. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the location of this project on my machine in the Windows Explorer. So for that, I'll right click here. I'll go to properties and I will copy this path. Either I can do it this way or I can click here and open this path in Windows Explorer. I'll go inside here. Now I'll copy all of this from here, Ctrl A and Ctrl C. I'll copy all the content of this particular directory inside the core Java and I'll come and paste it in this directory here, Control V. Okay, now once I do this, what I have done is I have copied the content of existing project into the project which has been cloned from the Bitbucket. After doing that, there are a few commands I need to execute to check in this project. So before I do that, let's go back to the OneNote and see what all steps we have done. So we have completed the cloning of project, and we also did the copy existing project into clone project. Now next is we have to execute this 1, 2, 3, 4 commands to check in this project. So let's start executing this command one by one. So I'll go again to my git bash. I'll say clear here. It will clear the current window. So first of all, I'll say git init and hit enter. Once I do git init, it will initialize my git to start checking in my code. After doing that, I will say git add. Can you see the second command here? Git add space dot. So I'll say git add and space and dot. Dot means the current directory, meaning that whatever is in the current directory, all of this should get checked in into the Bitbucket for me. So I'll hit enter here. Now once I do that, I'll say git status. So you will see that there are so many files green in color which are pending to be checked in. So in order to do the check-in, I'll say git commit -m and any comment you can give in double quotes. So I'll say git commit -m and I'll say my first commit, and I'll then hit enter here. So now the code has been committed into the repository, but I still need to put this code in the repository. It is still not got inside the repository. Okay, now in order to do that, I'll say git push origin master. So I'll type this command git push originmaster and let me hit enter. Now when you do this command, it will prompt you to give your username and password, but that's perfectly fine. In my case, I have already saved it in my session, so it is not prompted me for username and password, but in your case it will ask you for your username and password. You have to give the username and password which you have used to register to the Bitbucket. Now for some of you, you will also see this error while running this command git config -global user.name, define the author name. So you will see these two lines of error. Maybe it can happen for some of you. So in that case, what you need to do is you have to copy this much command. I'll say copy this and I'll put it here, and then the next one also I'll copy this and I'll put it here. Okay, now you have to replace this with the username. Username is the name with which you did registration or the name which you created during registration. So in my case, I will show you what is my username. So this is my username. I'll copy this and I'll put it here. Similarly, my email ID is again a mail ID with which I have done the registration. So in my case, it is message4naresh@gmail.com, right? After you do this, copy this particular line and paste it in the git bash here, paste it and hit enter. I'm not going to do that because I've already done it. Same thing you have to do it for the next command, which is this command here. So I'll again copy it and paste it here, and then I'll hit enter. Now once you successfully execute this command, then you have to again type in this command, which is git push origin master, and again hit enter. So once you do that, you will not get any further error. Of course, it might again ask you to enter your user ID and password. Please do that. And once you do this, your code will be checked in into the Bitbucket. Now, how do I verify if the code has been checked in? I will go to my Bitbucket repository via the browser. I'll go inside here. I'll click on my project. Once again, I'll refresh it. And as you can see, I'm here at the source tab. Once I click on the source tab, you can see a lot of folders has been created, which was not there earlier. So if you go to src, you will see these are the files which are on my local machine as well in my Eclipse. So let me go inside here and show you that these are the files: arrays, binary operations, and other files. These are the same files which is on my local machine as well. Okay, and with the code check-in, you can give me permission so that I can review your code and assignments. So you have to go to settings here. So once you go to settings, there will be an option to give user and group access. You click here, and here you can type my mail ID, which is message@gmail.com. Since I'm logged in with the same user, so it is not showing up any option, but you can choose this and give me a write permission so that I can make changes to your code and check in your code back so that you can then continue working on your assignment as well as project. Okay, so that's pretty much about how you can uh, check in the code and give access of the code to me so that I can review your code. Now, one last thing that you need to do uh, as a part of this tutorial is that you have to again go back to the project in Eclipse. So for the time being, I'm going to delete this. So I'll press on delete and make sure that this is not checked. You have to keep it as unchecked and just delete this project. This will delete the project only from your Eclipse. After deleting it, let me first delete it. So I'll say okay here. Now you can go to file, you can go to import option and choose an existing project into workspace and then choose browse. So we are going to browse to the location where I have just created the clone of my project. So what was the location? So Bitbucket code here. Inside this is the name of my project, right? Choose the project with the project name -Naresh Chaurasia and say okay, and then just say finish. Now the same project has again opened in the Eclipse for you, and now this one is basically synced, or it is in sync with your Bitbucket, meaning that whatever changes or whatever file that you're going to put here in future, you can as well execute the commands to check in the code. So in future you have to continue to work on this particular project that is in front of you, the one which you have imported as I have just shown to you. So let's try one final step to create a new file in this project so that you know how to check in that. So I'll create a file here. I'll say I'll call it my new file, and I'll hit enter, and let me check in this. So I will say git init, then I'll say git add, then I'll say git commit -m, I'll say second commit, then I'll say git push ORIGINMASTER, and let me hit enter here. Okay, so let's go back to the browser and try to refresh and see if the code has been checked in. So I'll go back to my project. I'll go to the source folder here. So let's see if the code has got checked in. So what was the name of that file? It was my new file. So let's see if we have it. It takes a little time to reflect the changes here. So just try to refresh it maybe in few minutes and you will find the file that you have just checked in this particular directory. Okay, so that's all I have in this video for you today. If you have any questions, you can leave your questions and comment in the section below the YouTube video. And also do subscribe to my channel by clicking on the subscribe button. Also like the video by clicking on the like icon, and don't forget to share it with your friends and colleagues. Thank you so much.